So this is my 2003 Lexus IS300. As you can see, not looking great. I posted a YouTube short of the startup after I replaced the timing belt and the water pump. Since then, I've put yellow electrical tape around all the little connections I have to hook back up. And I bolted on the alternator, put this belt back on, and I put some power steering fluid in it. And that's about all I've done so far. Also, I had to replace the battery to get it up and going. Started right up. It's been sitting for 5 years in my yard, but I'm deciding to fix it for my first car. And this is where the radiator mounts bit down here. I need to straighten this out. Also, I showed you all the parts I got for it. I'll go over what I got so far. So far this is everything that's arrived. I have not ordered everything yet, but this is what I have so far. Let's go over it. I got an oil filter. I actually got a frame filter, but I put it in this SuperTech one. Well, actually this is a SuperTech filter, but I'm gonna put a frame on it just because I feel like that's gonna be a little bit nicer than SuperTech. These are the, let's see if I can open it one-handed, radiator mount bushings. I got 2 of them. Got new radiator hoses and clamps. Here's the clamps. I got 2 gallons of Mobile One 5W30. This is off a parts card. It's the upper radiator mount, the horns, and this mount piece. I've got the radiator fans, the radiator, 2 gallons of antifreeze, and I got headlights. So that's what came in the mail over the past week or so. Well, not the antifreeze and the oil filter, but everything else, and that piece I didn't order. Everything else I ordered came in the mail. And yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'm still waiting on a couple more things, but right now I could put the radiator in it after I straighten out that one piece. There's also a little bit of welding I have to do, so I'll have to get on that. Not much, just a little piece came off. I can actually go show you that. But once I do all that, I can put the radiator in. And then I can drive it without it overheating. I haven't ran it long enough for it to overheat, but yeah, it'd be nice to run it, make sure nothing really bad is wrong with it. Once it gets hot, make sure the water pump actually is sealing, because it's my first time ever doing that job. And timing belt. I used Gates water pump and timing belt kit. Seemed kind of cheap. I was expecting a little bit better, but whatever, it should be fine. Here's the piece I have to weld back on. This just gets welded back on. As you can see, this car has been wrecked before. So that's where I'm at right now. Yeah. So, first time ever working on a car, so hopefully it goes pretty well. So you guys are probably wondering why I just showed you me driving this forward a couple of feet and driving it in front of this tree. Well, I'm going to get a come along attached to this tree, back to this thing, little thing that needs to be bent out straight, and I'm going to crank on it until it becomes straight again. Alright, so I have the come along hooked up right here, attached to the tree. You can't really see that, but it's attached. I don't know why I hooked it up so high, but I'm just going to pull out. Actually, let's probably move this a little bit, see the action a little better. But you can see I have the hook hooked up to a hole in there. I could see that the hole's already a little moved out from someone else doing this. But yeah, I'll get to straighten this piece out. Alright, well, this isn't really working. I have this hooked up too high. Helps relieve some of that pressure. If I can get this off easier. There we go. Hopefully it doesn't pull it up as much or just pull it out. Oh, starting to pull it up. I guess that's straight. We'll put the car back in neutral, release the tension, and then we'll see how it looks. Check that out. Yeah, it's a little straighter. I'll show you guys. Alright, so sorry if you can hear the dog in the background. It's kind of hot out here. But this is what I'm doing on the Lexus IS300. I've got the lower radiator hose on. I don't know if it's gonna last. I've got double clamps up here. I'm gonna have double down here. It's the right length, it'll work, but the clamps are kind of cheap, so that's why I did double. On the top radiator hose, this is the new hose, this is the old hose. The new hose is a lot longer, so if I want to use this, I'll have to cut it, or just use this one, which I think I'm just gonna go with this one. I did have this on here with the clamps, but I think I'm just going to use this one because it's the right length. I'm not cutting anything. So if it fails, it's super easy, right on top of the motor. Just 2 clamps, pull it out, slide this one in after I cut it, and put it all back together. Down here, I don't know what this bolts to, so I just zip tied it here so it's out of the way, and this fin doesn't go into the alternator. Also, the camera's really blurry. Maybe that's better. I can't really tell. But I think this is the horn wire here, so I just got it out of the way. These 2 are for the fans. They're out of the way. This down here is for the sensor. It's out of the way. These transmission lines. There was a petcock here, so when I drove it, it wouldn't spew fluid everywhere. It's actually over there. But yeah, I looked at the transmission lines. They're not horrible. If they do fail in the future, I can just 2 clamps for each line, replace them right on the bottom. Super easy to get to. Also, I re-welded this up and painted it all silver. Also, I had to hammer this down so it would straighten it out. On the radiator, I got the fans bolted on. And if you don't have enough fan bolts, the water pump bolts, the ones that come in your kit, if you replace the water pump, well, that's not one. But they fit in the threads. Also, I put Teflon tape around the ports and this, got them snug. Had this hose in a part spin for this piece to here. I look on the parts card, that's where that hose go. I don't know where this one goes because it's missing on the other car. Here's the plugs for the fans. There's the one for the sensor. What else? These zip ties are holding on this nipple thing because it broke off from the rack. Here's the hose for it. I JB welded it back on and it's just drying. Also on the bottom of the radiator, these are bushings from an E350 or E300. They're a little bit smaller than the outside diameter, and they were a little bit small on the inside, but they could rubber, so just squeeze it on, or not squeeze, but stretches on. So what I'm going to do is I blew out these holes with the air compressor, and then I'm going to put silicone in them, like a thick bead, and then I'm going to drop the radiator in. This was zip tied up so it didn't catch anything, so I cut that so it's out of the way. I might go look at the other car to see if there's some other mounts I need to get real quick. But I have that thing that's gonna get bolted on today, and we'll see what happens. I almost started it with the transmission line right here, but I stopped myself, luckily. This one is clamped off, and I don't have another clamp, so I just lifted this one up high enough where it wasn't leaking fluid out. Yeah, there's not much else to say. I've been tweaking this a little bit. When I welded it, I disconnected the one battery cable. It's actually loose. The clamp's tightened up all the way, but it still pops right off. So I'll have to get a new one of them. The car's still starting every time. So for now, I'm just gonna leave it. I'm not gonna run around. It's not important, but yeah, so I'm gonna get the radiator in, and I'll show you when that's in. All right, so radiator is in. This bar was a pain, well, not this bar because this was from a different car, but these like little arms that stick out in this bottom piece, they were all bent up, so we had to straighten them all out. Me and my dad had to straighten them all out. We got the hoses on, everything's hooked up, coolant in there. We tried to bleed the system, and I think, well, it was going into like limp mode or protective mode or whatever. I don't think it was on before, but I hooked up this intake because when we read the code, it was just what was it, all intake whatever codes. So I hooked this up, put it on there, plugged in the mass airflow sensor, hooked up this hose. It's literally not even on there tight, but this hose from the stock airbox. I have a new one because the old one, it got wrecked in the crash. I'm gonna run that because this it's still throwing a code, but it's not in limp mode, but I think it ran out of gas. So tomorrow, hopefully I can get some gas for it, and we can redo the cooling flush, like get in the, I don't know, whatever, you know what I mean, circulate the coolant. That's what we're trying to do. We couldn't get this thermostat to open because we didn't let it run long enough. I'm hoping. We got the car jacked up now too. I don't know if you need the condenser on to hook that up. Hope not, but maybe. But it's not limp mode, I don't think, anymore, but I think it ran out of gas, so yeah, it is what it is. Because it would only rev up to 3 grand and have like a weird rev limiter. It's revving up past 3 grand, but you have to tap the pedal, and it's not running the run right. So, and the gas light's pretty much on E. And when we jacked it up, that might have gotten the fuel away from the pickup. I don't have any gas here, so I had like half a gallon, but I don't think that's enough to actually get it to where it needs to be. So, I guess that's it for today. I guess the code reader just shut off. I should probably make sure that's unplugged. Oh, it is unplugged. It's weird. Whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I feel like some more has happened, but I don't know. Transmission lines are hooked up. Whatever this is for, these pipes, they're bolted on. This thing's just hand tight, but we had to drill out because the bolt snapped. We had to drill out the bolt, and we just use a nut and bolt because the threads are all marred up. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright. Alright, so the car is back outside. I'm gonna pull it in the garage in a couple minutes, but I think I should have got this intake on. I just put the AC condenser in and connected the lines. There's no Freon in it. Yeah, it has a misfire still. Oh, I connected this hose because this thing was broken off. This the part where the hose goes on, that was broken off, so I had to JB weld it back on and just got it all in. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, I think I'm gonna drive it down the road a little bit today for the first time. I'm gonna zip tie a couple wires up so they're not have no chance of scraping the ground, but I'm getting sucked up and ripped off. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Alright, it's been a little while. I think the last thing you saw was me driving this down the road, and a little bit's been done since then. I've got AC cooler in it, AC condenser, whatever. This thing is on here. What else did I do? I put ATF in it. Still not running right. I think something to do with the exhaust. It's definitely messed up because it's a lot louder. I don't know what else has been done to it. It's running and driving still. It's outside because I have a lawnmower in the garage right now. Once that's gone, I will probably, I don't even know. There's not a whole lot left to it. I gotta put the bumper on. I have that, I just have to put it on. And I guess figure out why it's not running right. I have the plastic bumper that goes on the bottom. I need to get a hood and a fender. Oh, headlights. I need to put the headlights in. I need to get fog lights and a grill. And I guess that's pretty much it. I mean, not much else needs to be done to it. I need to bend back the hood hinges because they're like $150 and I'm not spending that much on used hinges. Maybe we'll see how lazy I am. Honestly, I have no idea. I might just spend the money, but I do not want to do that. This is still on here. It's not even tight, honestly, actually. But I might put the stock airbox on to see if that helps it. Water pump isn't leaking, so that's good. Well, not yet, at least. Radiator, it's been good. I don't know, I'm seeing a little bit of coolant right in there, in between these fins a little bit. See, it's a little wet in there. Hopefully that's just excess from when it overfilled when me and my dad were flushing out the system. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Gotta figure out what all these wires are for. Gotta get the horns hooked up. So really not a whole lot left to it. I don't know if this is for the horns. This goes into the AC thing, so I don't know about that. Or if this is for the horns, maybe. I don't know. This guy has to get bolted or something. I don't know what that is. Really not a whole lot left to do on this. Oh, still have to fix the oil leak. That's coming from the drain plug, change the oil. I need to top off the ATF. I don't know. It's coming along. Yeah. I guess I'll be back when some actual progress has been made. Oh, I have the hood lock latch. Gotta put that on. Get a cable for it. I don't know. We'll see. I've got a year and like a month and a half before I can get my license. And I'm not gonna have this thing on the road when I have a permit because I don't need it to be. This lug nut looks loose. I guess not. Brakes. I think it needs new pads. They're getting warm. It's been pretty warm at the backs. Oh, one of them was pretty bad. I can't really see in there. Probably means they have to be done, huh? Needs new tires. I'll see if I can find a set on Marketplace, because I want just normal new tires shipped to my door. It's gonna be like $300 for all four. I don't want to do that either, because like I said, it's gonna be like a year or so before it's even on the road legally. Yeah. So I'll be back when progress is made. Alright, so it's currently nighttime because I forgot to record this when it was light out. So let's do this real quick. This is going to be everything I've done since the last clip of this car. So I've got a hood on it. It's not bolted on just to keep the motor protected. I've also got the horns hooked up. They did work, but now they don't work, so I had to figure that out. The valve cover gasket started leaking, so that's another thing I gotta track down. I got Freon in the AC system. It works good. And I feel like that's pretty much it for stuff I've done to the car since the last time I showed you it. The last clip. Except in the garage. On the John Deere, I'm replacing the head gasket for the second time. And I've got some other goodies going on it. So that video will be out soon. And you see that. That's a fender for it, so I could get the one rail aligned so I can put headlights in it, but the fender came dented, so I contacted the people that I bought it from. They sent out a new one, but it's not here yet. So I'm waiting for that. Once that comes in, I'll pull the Lexus back in, do headlights, and probably I'll go from there. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, and see you guys next time.